What is going on, Life Fitness Coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives and Make Money Online Training Podcast. It's your boy, Brian Mark. And in today's episode, it's titled, Let Me Hit You With Some Hippie Shit. And I'm going to hit you with some hippie shit. And the reason I called this podcast this is because, yes, I do believe in the law of attraction. Yes, I do believe that your thoughts create your reality. Yes, I do believe that as I think, so I manifest. Like, I believe all those things. And honestly, like oftentimes I kind of keep those beliefs to myself and I just operate and execute with them. But I want to open up my kind of like mindset with you guys. And I want to show you in today's podcast episode how I think, how I feel, and how I believe that we're all connected through this like universal intelligence. So first things first is we're going to talk about the other day when I was looking up at the sky. I was going for a walk. I looked up at the sky and it was actually there was like a show happening. It was called Denim and the Diamond. And I was with a bunch of my friends and I looked up at the sky and I saw all these stars. And I had this thought in my head and I was like, how interesting that is it that we, like me and the stars, like are actually one, like we're connected. Because when you see things with your physical eyes, right? Like when we see things with our eyes, what we end up seeing is like, I can see that the stars are different. I can see that me and this phone that I'm talking to are different. I can see that I'm separate from these things because there's this imaginary space in between me and you. But for those of you guys that are into astrology, or even if you understand how the universe operates, like everything in the universe is connected with this like ether. And so there's not like we see space in between me and you, but in reality, we're all connected through this ether. And that ether is the exact same ether that keeps the planet rotating around the sun without sucking us in, right? There's like this ether, there's this orbit. And what happens is as these planets move throughout space, they're sending vibrations through the ether, through the universe. And so the analogy that I like to think about is imagine you've got a pond, right? So the universe is the pond, and then the planets are like circling around the pond. What's happening is there ends up being like particles, and there's waves that end up getting transmitted in between the planets. So there's always vibrations. And if you guys want to look deep into this, you guys can look into quantum physics. Quantum physics has like basically broken down that an atom, which was previously known as the smallest form of energy, of intelligence, when you break it down to its like very base level, it found that it has like a wave particle duality, which basically means everything solid is also a wave. So why is this fucking important? Because the way that I operate and the way that I think and the way that I feel is I'm connected to the universe through this like universal intelligence, through this wave particle duality, this idea that I'm not separate from you, you're not separate from me, we're all connected. Like that's my belief. And so I also believe that because I'm intricately connected to the universe, like I believe that my mind is the very thing that ends up sending these signals out into the universe. Right? So like I can think with my mind and I can speak with my mouth and I can say things with my words, but how I'm feeling on an energetic level is going to send out like these signals to the universe. And it's not sending out signals to empty space. It's sending out signals to this ether, to this vibration, to this thing that connects us all. So I'm constantly sending out signals at all times, which is why I believe the law of attraction works on two levels. Level number one is when you think about the things that you want and you think about the goals that you'd like to achieve and you think about the aspirations that you'd like to have. When you think about those things, I think you're literally brainwashing yourself into noticing more of them. Like if I tell you right now, I want you to notice everything white in your room right now. Like I want you to just look around and look at everything white. When I say that, your minds will automatically notice things that are white in the room where you weren't necessarily looking at before. That's called your reticular activation system. And so I believe that the law of attraction works on two levels. Number one, when I say think about white, you think about white, you look around, you can see white. And so like because of that, as you're going throughout your day, if you're constantly thinking about your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, the things that you'd like to achieve, you're going to start to notice opportunities that will get you closer to them. So I believe that. And this is that hippie shit coming out that I was fucking telling you about. I also believe that it works outside in. So I believe that because I'm sending out these fucking signals, right? Because I'm always emitting these signals, I'm thinking about the things that I want. I'm sending out these signals. I believe that the law of attraction is actually bringing these things closer to me in my fucking ether. It's actually like drawing these things closer into me. And so I believe it's inside out and outside in. I'm constantly thinking about the things that I want. And as a result of me constantly thinking that I think about the things that I want, I'm starting to notice more of the things that I want. And not only that, not only am I noticing more of the things that I want, but I'm also drawing them closer into me because I'm putting out that vibration into the ether. So this is the belief system that I have operated with for the last 11 years. And if you peek underneath the hood of my success and you really wanted to take a look at like everything that I've done in the last 11 years to, generate over $25 million in online sales, to build Peach Denomination to the place that it's at, where I'm throwing events with 250 people, to speaking on stages where I'm introducing my idol, Gary Vaynerchuk, to opening a 20,000 square foot gym in fucking Kelowna, BC. Like when you peek underneath the hood of all my success, like this is me telling you that the reason that I'm successful is because of what I just talked about today. And like, yes, for those of you guys that are like skeptics, like there is strategy involved. Like, obviously, like I learned how to create better content. Obviously, I learned how to create better sales systems. Obviously, I learned how to sell more. Like, obviously, there's strategy involved, but the strategy doesn't come unless the awareness is there. Like, the strategy doesn't come unless the mindset's tapped in. The strategy doesn't come unless I'm emitting that fucking energy and that frequency of what I want. And because I'm always thinking about what I want, I'm always thinking about growth. I'm always thinking about making more money, changing more people's lives, stepping into my power more, being a better leader, being a better father, being a better partner. Because I'm always thinking about those things, the universe is just presenting me more opportunities for me to level up my skill sets. Universe is like, bam, here's a content mentor. It costs $100,000, but she's right here. Sounds good. The universe is like, bam, here's another mentor. He's going to help you with their systems. I'm like, sounds good. Like, and I just go with the fucking signs that I'm given, and I'm not questioning them because I know that, like, I know what I want. I know what I'm here to create. I know what I aspire to create. Like, and I believe that any dream that's put inside of my mind, like any goal or dream or aspiration that I have, no matter how crazy it is, like, I believe that the only reason that it's fucking there is because it's meant for you. And so if like all of you guys have heard me on the podcast say that like my goal is to be bigger than Gary Vaynerchuk. And I believe that the only fucking reason that goal is in my head is because it's meant for me. And so every single thing that I do on a day-to-day basis as I'm working towards that goal, like I'm just taking fucking signs from the universe and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go in that direction. I'm going to trust my gut instinct. It's going to take me here. I'm constantly thinking about the things that I want and the universe is helping me get closer to it. And I'm always noticing the things that are going to get me closer to it because I'm always thinking about it. It's fucking dope. Now, the only way that this works, and this is where a lot of you guys, because I know a lot of you guys, some of you guys might be hippies like me. Some of you might be listening to this and be like, this dude's off his fucking rocker, which I completely respect your right to your own opinion. But guess what? This is my fucking podcast. So too bad. So the only way that this works and the way that most people fuck it up, and I'll tell you how most people fuck it up. And this is something that I'm constantly catching myself doing as well. So this is something like, this is where like, if the law of attraction was just real and it just manifested everything that you want instantly, like I could think about an elephant and an elephant would be in my lap. And that would be a very inconvenient fucking thing for me. Right. So you can think about the thing that you want and you can think about the goal that you want, but it's going to take time for that reality to manifest. And so I heard this saying and it struck me like a fucking pile of bricks. And I want to share it with you because this, I believe, is the key to the unlock with the law of attraction. If you start working towards the things that you want, you have these goals, dreams, aspiration. I believe that this is the fucking unlock. It was this quote. It goes, you can't rush the river. Like when you think about a stream of water, a stream of river running downstream, like you can't rush the river. There's no amount of energy, effort, passion, resilience, dedication, consistency. There's no amount of those things that will rush the river. Like I can't push water and make it go faster in the river. Just like I can't stop a river with my fucking hands. Like I'm not going to go into the river with my hands and just stop the river. I can't rush the river and I can't stop the river. At some point, you just need to have faith. And I thought that was so fucking powerful because I think that so many of us, when it comes to achieving success, we want to hit $10,000 a month. We want to hit $20,000 a month. We want to hit $30,000 a month. We want it right now. And because we want it right now, we start heading towards the thing that we want. We start taking the actions that are going to get us closer to. We start thinking about the things that we want. But then we get in our heads and we're like, why isn't this happening right fucking now? Like, why am I not getting this right now? And you're trying to rush the river and you're trying to push the river and you're trying to make things happen faster. And what ends up happening is you just get more and more frustrated because you're trying to force something that isn't actually yours yet. And I believe that in order to manifest any sort of reality, in order to create any sort of reality, that you first must become the person capable and worthy of handling that reality. Like, guys, I've wrote down on a fucking piece of paper that I want to be a multimillionaire for 10 years. Like 10 years ago, I wrote down that I was going to be a multimillionaire. But 10 years ago, I was a fucking drug addict. And so imagine the universe. I'm a drug addict, right? And I want to be a multimillionaire. And the universe is like, oh, you want to be a multimillionaire? Fucking here you go. Here's a bunch of cash. I know you just recovered from a drug addiction, but here's a bunch of money. What do you think I would have fucking done with that money? Not fucking good shit, obviously, because I didn't have the character. I didn't have the resilience. I didn't have the heart to be able to sustain the gifts, the blessings that I was fucking asking for. And so you can say that you want these things. You can say you want to be successful. You can say you want to grow your business. You can say you want to have 50 clients, 100 clients. You want to be leading a massive movement. But the reason you haven't achieved it yet is because you are not a vibrational match for the thing that you're asking for. Like, you are not a match. You are not the person that is capable, qualified, or worthy of receiving that yet. And so first, you've got to go inside and you got to ask yourself, if I was a multimillionaire and I was massively successful, how would I show up every single day? If I was a multimillionaire and I was massively successful, how would I treat other people? If I was a multimillionaire and I was really successful, how would I show up on social media? How would I show up for my clients? How would I show up for my team? How would I show up for my people? And then you start doing those things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And all of a sudden you start changing your character. You start changing your internals. You start becoming more aligned with the fucking vision and the goal and the aspiration that you have. Then you start emitting these signals out into the universe of like this higher level version of you, which draws in more opportunity. And because you're fucking tapped in, tuned in, turned on, you're like looking for these opportunities. So when they come your way, you can see them, you can touch them, you can taste them, you can feel them, and you know which opportunities are going to get you closer to or further away from your vision. And then over time, you just keep fucking going. You keep putting in the work. You dream big. Every time you hit a big milestone, you celebrate yourself, but then you get back on the path because you know you're just getting started. And all of a sudden you look up and you realize like, holy fuck, I did it. Everything that I ever wanted. And like, I'm telling you, it's a fucking crazy feeling. Like, when I say that I have everything that I've ever wanted, I truly do mean everything I've ever wanted. The Lambo, the mansion, the fucking house, the fucking gym, the money, the wife, the body. Like, I've won fitness competitions. Everything I've ever wanted, I have. And it started out 11 years ago when I was a fucking nobody and I had nothing. The only thing that I had was this delusional fucking belief that I believe in the law of attraction. And I believe that not by focusing on the things that I want and just like continuously staying focused on the things that I want and never fucking letting anybody else inside of my mind and never letting anybody else's opinion get in the way of my fucking vision and never letting anybody talk shit about my goals, my dreams, my aspirations, and staying so fucking committed to the things that I wanted that I just literally never veered off the path. And I have done that for 11 years. And that's why I'm manifesting everything that I am. It's not a fuck. It's like, it's that simple. And to end off this podcast, I'm going to tell you this. All right. I'm going to tell you this. You can't rush a river and you can't stop the river. At some point, you just need to have faith. And so if you have a goal, a dream, an aspiration, a destination that you'd like to reach, understand that it's on the fucking way already. It's already on the way. Relax. There's nothing that you can do that's going to force it to come faster. Can you put in more work to achieve your goals? Absolutely. Is that work going to speed up your goals? Who knows? Depends if that work helps you develop the character that's necessary for you to manifest. The most important thing when it comes to achieving your goals, dreams, and aspirations is obviously to know exactly what you want, but then to become a fucking vibrational match for the things that you're asking for. Called leading by example. The reason that I have the things that I have now is because I'm a fucking match for those things. Like, I am successful. I am fucking disciplined. I am consistent. I have shown up consistently for the last 11 years. So the universe knows it can fucking send me challenges, obstacles, fucking roadblocks, and it knows that I'm going to crush it because everything I fucking do, I crush. And so that's why I'm manifesting. It's not a secret. It's consistency over time while having faith that it's on the way. And guys, I truly do believe that I'm just getting started. Like, I honestly believe that this is only the beginning. And if this is only the beginning for me, like, I want to share it. I want to share this with you. Like, I do. And I feel like I've been a selfish fuck for not talking about my hippie stuff a little bit more. But I feel like the reason I haven't talked about my hippie stuff a lot more is because I know that you guys like the business content, right? But like, the business content without the fucking mindset locked in, I'm telling you, like, the only reason I'm able to get these fucking downloads and I'm tapped in, tuned in, turned on is because I'm fucking right up here. I'm like tapped in. I know that I want to be the best business coach of all time. And so because I have that belief, my mind is always looking for ways to become a better business coach. And the universe is always delivering me things that are going to make me a better business coach, including intuitions, thoughts, feelings, emotions that align me with that thing that I want. The reason I called it hippie shit is like, let me hit you with some hippie shit, is like, you might view that as hippie. I view that as law. I view that as like my internal belief system. I view that as the fucking reason that I am successful. That is it. That is all. I hope you guys have the best day of your entire life. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the podcast, and I'll talk to you guys in the fucking next one. Peace. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.